Hey guys, and welcome to Behind the Plate podcast, as partnered with One IQ Sports. I'm Will. This is my host DJ, and we're back. We're back. Cue the hangover
Yep.
scene. We're back. We're fucking back.
I'm
Here we
excited for
here we
season
are.
two, man.
Baseball has started today. Everyone, all
Oh,
30 teams.
I'm fucking pumped, bro.
Ah,
We'll be pumping this out, what,
and who
every
would have
Thursday
thought?
you want to do?
Every Thursday.
Yep,
Put these
every
up for
Thursday.
every Friday. You guys, you'll love them. And who would have thought the story going into spring training was going to be around the fact jerseys fucking suck? Have you seen
Yeah.
the Fanatics jerseys that look like the cheap knockoffs that like you get find down at the dollar store for like the team that didn't win the
Wait,
World Series?
wait, really? Was
Oh
that
yeah.
released today?
No, there's been like a thing for a bit, but they're like steam pressed jerseys and they look like the handouts that teams give you when they're like, oh, we need to give out a jersey, but we don't really want to spend money.
Oh, like the warm-ups, like you need to get somebody's fucking name pressed onto it so it looks super cheap, that one?
Yeah, like, so
Yeah.
Verlander, they gave Verlander the Saltalamacchia treatment where his name goes from like shoulder blade to shoulder blade.
Oh,
Josiah Gray is GR space AY.
no way.
Like, dude, can you
Why is that a
imagine
thing?
if like a Pete Crow Armstrong or Christian Encarnacion Strand wore those jerseys? They're getting full circles, bro. They're
They're
getting full
screwed.
circles.
They are screwed. There's so many jokes incoming.
Oh, well, the union stepped in. Today they announced the players' union stepping in to change the jerseys for opening day because the players hate them. But Mike Trout,
But Mike Trout,
Mike
he
Trout
likes
loves
them.
them, but I also think he's trying to find something else to talk about than the fact that the Angels suck and they don't have Otani.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
He's
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah. I don't know if you've
He,
seen them. They just keep floating all over my Twitter timeline, but they're fucking disgusting.
bro, he better. It's little segue, but Mike Trout better stay healthy this year.
Mike Trout's
Like
gonna
what?
carry the Angels into the playoffs this year. I hope you know that. That's
That
happening.
I would be not surprised. Like I don't know if I could say I would be surprised, but like, is he gonna stay healthy?
Oh, absolutely.
But it does seem like that type of year. It's like you write them off, no one cares anymore.
Yeah,
They're like, boom, we're good now,
yeah.
out of nowhere. Wait,
Anthony
I need to.
Rendon's gonna play in more than 20 games this year, so they're going to make the playoffs.
You think so? Is that your
What's the over
preseason
under on
take?
Anthony Rendon games played? 20 and a half.
Yeah, if they get 40 out of him, they're making the playoffs.
if they get if you get 30 games out of him this year, it's worth the contract at this point.
Oh man, how bad is that? I'm trying to
That
find these jerseys.
that
That's what I'm
contract's
doing the most.
insane. Look up RGS on Twitter. They got a few. Ben Verlander, no, Fuzzy's got a couple. Ben Verlander might have some, but they're disgusting. They're not very nice. Um, Speaking of jerseys that could be very nice, the Toronto Blue Jays are getting City Connect jerseys this year.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was gonna segue into that after. This is
Oh,
gross,
oh,
man.
yeah, no, these jerseys suck. They
Dollar store. They literally just said budget cuts are real this
yeah.
season.
You want to know what's
Like,
better?
oh,
So those are the
what?
jerseys they're selling with the patches on the side, right? Like patches on like the sleeves and stuff.
Yeah.
They're $50 more than the normal jerseys were.
Shut up.
Yeah. So
No.
in yeah, someone was looking in the states. You could get one of those jerseys. I think it was like for 100. Like last year's jerseys for like $125, and now they're 175. I think it is.
For,
So that's like probably
it's
225 here in Canada for those
no, these
jerseys.
are these are actually gross, man.
Yeah, like the fabric seems nice, right? Like the fabric itself, it's just the fact that the collar, like the MLB logo's below the neck collar and the letters look dumb. Other than
The
that,
letters look dumb and smaller, and like they
oh,
look
they're nasty.
just gross.
Uh,
Okay, I'm over it.
for the Dodgers, they split the D.
Yeah, I seen that.
That nasty, horrible. You can't split the D like
No,
that.
I know. You gotta take the D and give the
Take it all
D.
the way.
Yeah, to the segue though, if they
Yeah.
fuck up these City Connects, man, I've been waiting for a new Blue
Oh
Jays
man,
jersey for
I'm
so long.
so worried.
I'm gonna pre-order. I'm
Oh,
gonna
same.
pre-order.
I
Dude.
don't know which
Yeah.
one. Like, do I go Kevin Gosman? Is this the Vladdy or Bichette year? Do I go Kevin Kiermaier?
Oh, I have a Bo and Vladdy, so those are off the
I
table.
think I might go for a Bo or Vlad. I think I got to at this point. I've been
I
holding out to
kind
not do it to be different, but at this point, one of those two is going to be staying long term, if not both. Let's just fucking get it over with.
bold move would be Manoa because I don't have a Manoa jersey.
Ooh, that'd be fun. It
Maybe
depends
like
on the
pushing it out.
jersey. It depends
Yeah,
on the jersey. Like I'll get
that
it,
also has it.
but
Yeah,
the jersey depends on who's on the back.
yeah.
Do you
I
see?
think
Go ahead.
Gosman's up there for me though. Gosman's up there.
Gosman, yeah, Gosman's right there. Do you see Bassett? He's vying for what he wants these jerseys to be. He was. You remember
Oh
those
yeah,
black jerseys from like 2010? That's what
yeah,
he wants. He wants
bro.
those.
I'm not mad at it. I like
I'm just
those
saying,
jerseys.
if we get those, I already have a Halliday version of that jersey. I wouldn't
Yeah,
need
I
to
used
get
to,
the City Connect.
bro. You have to. Come
No,
on. I
I
mean,
if they go black jerseys, first of all, I don't think they do. I think they're gonna go like a navy blue. Um, and like
okay.
they're gonna incorporate the CN Tower somehow. But if they go for black jerseys, I want them to keep the current lettering that they got and just change it to black.
I think they could easily go the Canada way and go red.
If they go for a red jersey, I will not buy it.
Man, the CN Tower rate like on there would be sick though.
CN
Holy.
Tower with like the skyline, like the Rogers Center's the O.
Oh,
Could you imagine that? Navy blue, CN
wow.
Tower as the T, Rogers Center as the O, and the skyline spells out Toronto or something.
We should make some fake concepts, bro.
I suck at Photoshop, so that's all you.
Me too, but I can figure it out. No,
I
I'm
will.
excited.
I'm so excited for these, man. I need it. And if it's
I
one of those, it's I think it's Bo or Vlad.
okay. Another teaser though that we could look at is the um the Vladdy cover art for the new
I love
game.
it.
Those new fucking hats are pretty fucking
I
sick. They're simple.
I like them. I think they might be the City Connect hats. It's because
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
why would they? He wouldn't wear it unless it was like going to be related to the Blue Jays. Because I also think it's on the shop, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken. So there's a good shot. Those are like because they aren't the spring training or BP caps. Unless they're just bringing in new hats, it could be City Connectors hats.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like looking at the hat, maybe it's just like a newer white jersey. White's
Maybe.
pretty safe for being pretty sick though, so like
Yeah.
white's a good color.
You see all those crybaby Yankee fans upset because Vladdy was the cover. Like it's a video
Yeah,
game cover.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
grow up.
Yeah. It could be
But
a curse. The
no,
video game cover
absolutely
curse is a
not.
thing.
He's done this. He said this is the year he has to prove himself. He lost weight. He's looking. He's no longer thick Prince Daddy or thick Prince Vladdy. He's Slim Daddy Vladdy. Okay, it's
Oh my
MVP
god.
or bust. I'm
Facts.
looking at it. I I almost feel a little confident if I put money on either a Vladdy or Manoa award-winning season.
Yeah, I need Vladdy at least minimum in the top five MVP
Top three
voting.
needs to be top
Top,
three.
yeah,
I
yeah,
need him to
yeah.
be
Top
top three.
five is the minimum if we want to make the playoffs.
Top three.
If
He's
we
got
want
to
to make
carry
the
this.
playoffs.
He's got to carry this fucking team.
Our teams, okay, realistically,
Our team's a playoff
people
team,
are, yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, like going into last season, we had a fucking horrible season. Everyone underperformed at the same time. Well,
except
the
for
pitchers
Bobichette.
were, and the pitchers were, but
Yes.
offensively, the team was
Offensively,
just
everyone
trash.
but Bobichette and Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier was
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly. So I think
Yeah.
everyone has a bounce back here. We could easily like. I'm pissed that we didn't do more, but there has been a few days where I sit back and I'm like, okay, on paper this team's still not bad. Like, I get why they're like we don't need much on paper because our upside is still pretty crazy. You know.
I sit back and I look at it. After Otani went, we weren't
Mm,
gonna have the big splash off season. Like
yeah.
retrospectively looking back, that should have been a pretty obvious thing because there
Yeah.
was no one that I would have been confident in giving a long term deal to that would have benefited the Blue Jays offensively. Matt
Yeah.
Chapman, I wouldn't give what he wants. He wants like 5 150. Not a shot in hell he gets that from Toronto. Cody Bellinger,
I was
like
iffy on it.
I'm
I
if
liked
like
it, but
I liked it, but it's iffy because he could literally go back to being worse than Chris Sale. Or not Chris Sale, Chris Davis.
it's like you're catching bodies, Chris.
But, like there was no one that I would have been comfortable giving up all star money to because they weren't all stars. And
Yeah.
like Snell and Montgomery, great. That doesn't help you. That
Yeah.
doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah, no.
So
You need
I actually
I
like the Justin Turner signing. The more I look at
yeah,
it,
me too. He's solid. I'm just like the only thing to look at it as a Blue Jays fan is like the age is like iffy,
mm,
and if we could keep up the defense we had last year, we shouldn't have to worry about it because like we got some good bodies defensively. So
yeah.
I just wanted, one or two more power bats. Soler would have like made me like I would have been
Soler,
happy.
Teoscar, or JD, I would have
Yeah.
like, but like nevertheless,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get not wanting to commit 3 years to Jorge Soler. I get that because he's only really had 2 good years in a sense, two
Yeah.
and a half good
Yeah.
years. So I get not wanting to commit that money to him. JD Martinez kind of screams red flags as like this dude
Yeah.
who went from no power to power all of a sudden again to go back in between.
It's kind of like a more expensive Justin Turner.
Yeah.
In a sense, they're both at the back end of their careers.
Tay Oscar
If
would have
he,
made sense, but like I also get why he didn't happen.
yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of back and forth with him for how long since he left, so
Yeah.
maybe there's just like he doesn't want to come back. I don't know.
Well, it also gets like I believe the sense after Otani was to find a way to cut down on strikeouts.
Yeah.
But if you sign Teoscar Hernandez, you've done the exact opposite to that because he's basically penciled in for 190, 200 Ks. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
strike out more than your pitchers are gonna throw strikeouts.
Yeah. No, seriously. I don't know. I didn't think we had like it was just Blue Jays classic off season.
I
Safe.
really like Yariel Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was
And
cool.
I'm so disappointed we won't get to watch him this year.
Yeah, that sucks. It's gonna feel like when he comes in, we're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna forget about him." I already know.
Oh, I'm
I'm gonna
watching
be
all
like,
those
"Oh fuck."
AAA games that he's a part of to get him
Yeah,
stretched out to be that guy. I'm gonna watch all of those ones. But
man, and you're gonna keep me posted
oh, absolutely, we're gonna have
for our
Yariel
MVP.
Rodriguez update.
How old is he?
I think he's 26.
That's not bad.
26 on a 5 year deal that can either be 38 or $40 million.
Yeah, that's
That's
not bad.
pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, and I mean I've seen him pitch a couple times. I think
That's
he's
some nasty
fucking
stuff.
he's got some fucking nasty stuff, man. Like
Um,
wasn't expecting it. I don't look into things like that
no,
much
I
as
didn't
much as
expect
you
it.
do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that came out of left field too because it felt like there was White Sox, right? There was
yeah.
Red Sox. For the longest time, it was like, hey, it's gonna probably be the Red Sox. I think it was the Pirates were also in there, and then all of a sudden, this like Espanol ESPN guy, like ESPN Espanol,
Yeah.
was like the Blue Jays are the front runners. By the way, guys, like it's like not even
I
close.
don't know where.
And we were like, what?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it was like he wants to be a starter, and we're like, this makes no sense. And then I looked into it. I'm like, actually, it does make sense. If Kikuchi's gone, Yariel Rodriguez kind of fits right in. He can like
Yeah.
piggyback with Bowden Francis or Big Dick Ricky T.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see him pitch too. Ooh. Ow.
No, the one that really shot me out of left field was Kevin Kiermaier. Because that's just like no rumor, no nothing, just breaking news. Kevin Kiermaier and the Toronto Blue Jays are in agreement on a 1 year, 10.5 or
Ah,
something.
it was out of nowhere, but at the same time, he had such a good year, and he obviously loves Toronto. I think
Mm-hmm.
his family loves Toronto. I I'm not that surprised. Like it was out of nowhere because no one talked about it, right?
It
But
it
it's
shocked me because for the most part, like Atkins, I get he had a really shitty end of the year presser. He kind of gave
yeah,
off the vibe that no one's gonna
uh,
come back. Uh, and at that point, I had kind of penciled in like Varsho's gonna be the center fielder. They're gonna go for a power bat, maybe like or like some sort of left field guy, right?
yeah,
Or like that way, it like opens up an outfield spot for Jorge Soler or Teoscar if they wanted to go for Gurriel. And then when they got, or if they wanted to go Bellinger. And then when they got
yeah.
Kiermaier, it was just kind of like, okay, we're not gonna add to the outfield.
No, they went very very safe.
Yeah,
Like I
and I
feel
like
like
it.
it's not bad, but it's been that way for how long? They're just like, no, we trust in what we have. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I get it, but like, man, when you see the rest of the league and especially the AL just continue to improve and sign people and get better, it's a little intimidating to rely on what we seen last year.
yeah, I get
You
that.
know?
I just, I'm super thrilled with the Kevin Kiermaier, the KK, Kiki, as I
Yeah.
call him. Just because there was countless times last year where I was like, fuck, it's gonna suck to see him go.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
very happy that he stayed. But my one guy that I am really excited to watch, and I know it's no one else's favorite, I have this
say
feeling
it.
he is
Say
going
it.
to win the city
Say it.
over. He's going to be just that dude. Everyone's going to love him.
Yeah.
He's
I
already
seen the
shown
tweet.
up. He's shown up with more aura than any other Blue Jay could have even imagined. And that's Isaiah Kiner Falefa. IKF's
Yeah.
going to win the fucking city over, man.
I
I
hope you're
can't wait.
right.
He's going to win the country. Similar to Kevin Kiermaier. None of us were thrilled when Kevin Kiermaier came last year. It's the exact same reception for IKF this year, and he's gonna rock third base. He is going. The beard gives you powers, man. He was good in Texas with the beard. They
Yeah.
shipped him to New York. They're like, hey, lose all your aura. Don't have any facial hair. Just kind of look like a 12-year-old child, and he played
Yeah.
like one. And now he looks like a grown up. Now he's gonna play like a grown up.
Man, I that was the deal that shocked me the most. It's just like, huh?
I had heard. So I
Uh,
had heard that it was leading Gio Urshela as the
yeah.
guy. And then it
Uh,
was very last minute that it wasn't Gio Urshela and it was IKF. From what I was told, IKF was like their lead guy the whole time, but this person was told Gio Urshela.
I will say there was a lot of shaky reporting this offseason.
Yeah,
A lot. And I couldn't rely on Twitter in the whole like the when it was going crazy, Otani and all that. Just a bunch
Shohei
of
Otani is
bullshit.
not in Toronto. He's not on a
Like
plane to Toronto. Shohei Otani's at home. Yeah, fuck you, Bob Nightingale.
it's hard for me to trust fucking anything on Twitter
Oh,
now. Like
man.
seriously, because
Straight
of all
up,
the shit that went on.
the only people I trust right now on Twitter is Jeff Passan and Robert Murray. That is it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
Ken Rosenthal, not like I do but don't.
Eh.
John Heyman, I would rather kick my nuts into my throat than ever trust anything he says. I can't stand John Heyman. That's a whole other episode. John Morosi, I trust more than John Heyman, and I don't really fully trust Morosi yet.
Eh.
Carlos Bayarga, I don't even know why we listen to him. I get he gets stuff right, but like he told us Shohei Otani, so for that I will never like him ever again.
Yeah, I remember I never even went on his Twitter before then, and then I think you told me he's like
This is
you're just like, oh
Instagram.
my god, he's telling, or it was his
Dude,
Instagram.
fuck JP Hornstra.
I remember you just told me that. I don't know who it was. You were just like, oh, Tawny's coming to Toronto today, and I was just like, ugh.
Dude, I remember I woke up, I went to bed that night, and I was like, Otani's signing in the next 48 hours. Like, he has to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
signing
Yeah.
soon, right? And I woke up, and the first notification I got, John Morosi, Shohei Otani is a decision is imminent. The Blue Jays something something something, and it was a very eerily similar tweet to the one he put out when George Springer was close to signing. It was like the Blue Springer decision imminent. The Blue Jays definitely remain heavily involved, and it screamed
Yeah.
like that. It was like Morosi's got one source saying that he signed in Toronto, but didn't have a second one, and then the wheels fell off on my life, man. I was constantly refreshing. I got to work
Yeah.
constantly refreshing. I was watching this plane. It was the greatest day of my life. Carlos
Oh
Bayarda's
yeah.
Instagram. My people are telling me Shohei Otani signing in Toronto for $600 million, and I was like, holy fucking shit, it's
What a
happening.
loser. What a
and then
loser.
and then it was like JP Hornstra, and there was like all that like Daily Mail stuff that was like Otani signing in Toronto, and then JP Hornstra was like Shohei Otani's deciding to sign with Toronto, and then it was like MLB this, MLB that, MLB Network, MLB on Fox, and I was like,
Everyone's
it's
like
here. And
guaranteeing
then he
that
was
it's
on
happening.
that plane, and there was a press
Yeah.
conference, and then Bob Nightingale shit on me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
Press
never
conference.
recovered.
Remember seeing press conference coming later in the day, like around 4 or something. I'm like, wow, this is actually happening. And then it's like, you fucking idiots. None of this is true.
It was so obvious, like looking
I was
back,
like, yeah, oh, for sure.
retrospectively, like you look back, Morosi's tweet fucking sucked. For the
Yeah.
airplane, just like my sources are telling me Shohei Otani is on that plane going to Toronto, and that's all I read. I was like, there it is. He's coming to
We
sign.
won. Yeah,
It
we
was like
won.
we won. Fuck you, LA. We won. And then I read the rest of it, and it was like no one has confirmed that he is in that plane. No one
No.
from his agency has told me he's in that plane, and I was like,
No one on the planet except for people that are faking it on Twitter. And it's just like, for that 3, 4, I don't even know. It felt like an
an
eternity
eternity.
of my life, like scrolling Twitter, like refreshing, just to be like, okay, first of all, where the fuck did this Otani to the Jays come from? Because I had
Right.
no idea. Like, and then just get our hopes up, and then just fucking
Ugh.
shatter it. And then on top of that, have some bullshit fucking deal signed.
The
I
very next
hate
day,
that.
the fact
I
that he
hate
signed
that.
the very next day was like, oh.
Yeah.
But
No. Oh.
I was in the middle of interviewing someone when John Morosi dropped the Shohei Otani's going to Toronto tweet. Like when he,
Yeah.
because that's all I read, and I like froze mid question, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit!"
In front of the person.
No, I was over the phone, so I muted myself, and I was like, "He's fucking coming!" We had a
That's
celebration,
just
and then it was just nothing. I drove home, and I was like, "It's over." Like, he's a Dodger.
man.
When that tweet hit that he wasn't on that plane, I was like, he's a Dodger. I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
like crawl into a hole and die.
Yeah, I remember telling my dad and everyone that doesn't even care about baseball, I'm like, we're about to have the best player in baseball, like it's not even close. We're closing in, and then just like, just no, just gone. As soon as, like you said, as soon as that he didn't get signed that day and like he wasn't on the plane, I'm like, all my hopes were immediately just fucking done. It was
Oh yeah,
done.
it was
It was toast.
the best 4 hours of my life, followed by the worst like 24 hours of my life.
Yeah. And again, like fuck, I hate the way they did his contract. It's like a spit in the face. Like, okay, we don't have the money. We don't want to give it to him up front so he could sign his best friend. But like here, for the first fucking what 9 years, you get like 20 million, and then like after the 10 years is up or whatever the fuck it is, we'll give you the rest of the fucking 608. No, that should not be allowed. That's the stupidest bullshit of my life, bro. Like,
Dude, I
fucking pisses
remember
me off.
I remember seeing that when they like announced his deferrals, and it was
Yeah.
like $2 million for the next 10 years. I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. You're missing a zero. Like I was like maybe 20 million. right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
looked and I was like, this is a joke, right? Like you're missing a couple zeros here. Hey, no, no,
That is the stupidest bullshit. I don't think that should be like
that's got to be a
allowed.
thing. Yeah, that's a whole
Like it's
CBA
just
conversation in like 2 years.
fuck, man. That's brutal. Like, oh man, I don't even want to
Could have had. It would have
reignite.
been. We could have had Otani and Yamamoto. We could have been the Dodgers. We could have been baseball's number
Yeah.
one enemy.
Yeah.
And
Fuck,
instead, we're
man.
just not good for baseball, according to John Heyman, who literally sucks off the Yankees.
Yeah, seriously. Fuck
Honestly, he doesn't. It's not just the
all
Yankees.
report.
He just sucks off like any American baseball team.
Well, it's the same thing with the Raptors. I've dealt with it for years where it's like they give you no respect because you're in Canada. And then, like, what? You see us talking shit because we're better at hockey?
Yeah,
No. Everyone's fucking equal in the NHL, or as equal as it's gonna get. But then, like, you put one Canadian team against all these American teams. It's like, no one wants to go there. It's bad for baseball. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
I
You have a
love.
whole country driving this team.
Yeah, I love when all those players, when it started with Ricky Romero, then I think it was Bassett, then Kevin Gosman, and the rest of the squad are just like, yo, fuck you, America. You know what is the
Hey,
best time of my life? Playing baseball in
yeah.
Toronto. You know what wasn't the best time of my life? Playing baseball in America. When I saw
Oh,
those tweets, I was like, fire me up. Let's start the season right now.
I
This is
really.
a prove everyone wrong season.
Well, Toronto has been well documented to be like a very fucking good place to
Everyone
play
loves it.
for everybody who plays. It's like
Every
I don't want to
single
go
person.
there.
Every single person has liked it, but Eric Kratz, and that's because Eric Kratz couldn't hit a fucking wet paper bag.
Yeah. Like who is that guy?
That dude hit
Exactly.
110 in Toronto. Like,
Exactly.
I, there. Oh,
Yeah. Send us a picture on Twitter of one person that has his jersey and I'll I'll plead the fifth. I won't talk shit. But I guarantee you there's no fucking jerseys.
oh, easily. Um, but I want to throw in a couple boldy predictions. I don't know if they're bold.
Mm.
Um, they're kind of, but they're like fun predictions. So
Yeah.
this is a thing that I've been saying for a bit now, into myself. I think for about a month I've been saying that this is my like number one prediction.
Okay.
And then someone said it on Twitter the other day, and I was like, "Fuck you."
You tweet it out, bro.
So in 2021, vibes weren't really high, right? We weren't expected to make the playoffs. We had a really good year. Vibes in
Yeah.
2022, we were the number two ranked team going into the season. Vibes
Mm.
weren't really great, right? It was fun, but it wasn't it. Vibes going into
Mm.
2023 were just as high. Hey, this team could compete for the division, especially if the
If
Yankees aren't
not high,
there.
like yeah, it was the
And
highest
it
like
was the
of,
highest it's ever been. Like this is the year, and it fucking sucked. Vibes going into this year suck. They're going for a division run. The vibes are low.
oh
When the vibes are high, the result is low. When the vibes are
yeah.
low, the result is high. What's higher than a wild card spot? The division.
Yeah, this team's got everything to prove this year.
I like it. I said it
Everything.
in a video the other day where it was like Manoa's gonna come back with a fuck you attitude. Vladdy's gonna come back with a fuck you attitude.
This whole
Bo
team.
kinda everyone should be coming back with a fuck you watch me attitude. And if they do
Yeah.
that, it's 2015.2, man. Like let's get it back.
Get fucking Springer
Right?
back.
We're gonna
Like
lead
doing
the
his
league in
thing.
home runs. We're gonna have the best pitching staff in baseball. Baltimore can suck our nuts. Yankees are gonna lose Judge in a week.
Our defense is gonna be immaculate again.
I yeah, I don't think the Orioles win the division.
Hmm.
That's my
That's
thing.
very bold.
Um, and it's not a shot at the Orioles because I think the Orioles are the best team in the division. On paper, they're the best team in the division. They're
Mm.
they aren't going to win as many games as they did last year because it's hard to win 100 games, let alone win consecutive years of 100 games. Like if they won 100 games this year, they'd still have less wins than last year.
Yeah.
So I don't think they win the same amount of games. I I think the Orioles division ranking doesn't determine or like
How
isn't
good they
finished
do.
where it's because of their performance. The
Right.
Orioles finish is based off of what other teams do.
Yeah.
Is how I'm looking at it. If the G because they bitch walked the Jays last year. They bitch watched walked the Rays last year. They went
Yeah.
50-50, but kind of like dog walked the East. Like they made everyone their bitch last year.
And we were the opposite.
Yeah. So if two of the Jays, Yankees, Rays, Red Sox
Mhm.
manhandle the Orioles this year, they won't finish in first place because two other teams will have such an advantage on them. So
Yeah.
if the Orioles can't manhandle the East this year and it's more even out, there's a legitimate shot that they don't finish first. Like they could finish the lowest they finish is fourth,
Oh, that would
but
be
I don't
so
think they do. They
crazy.
probably finish second or third, but like
Anything
I
can
don't think
happen
they
in
win.
the
I don't
AL
think they
East.
win the East. I,
Man, I
I
would
think I
hate to
gotta
see them.
lead the Yankees.
I was just
Unfortunately,
about to say I hate the Yankees and I don't want to see them up top though.
I like right now the way I'm leaning, and it can easily change. Uh, Going into yesterday, I had probably the Orioles as the smart choice. They don't have Kyle Bradish now for the start for like potentially 2 or 3 months of the season. That's a
Yeah,
huge
that's
loss.
big. Yeah.
There's a legitimate shot the Yankees walk away with the East
Early.
if Soto and Judge just play baseball like they normally can, and Cole is back to like last year and Marcus Stroman's like first half of 2023 again, and Rodon doesn't have a rotisserie chicken elbow, they win the East. Like they just walk away with it. I don't like the
Here's
Rays this year.
here's the thing with the Yankees. They're very like momentum swing heavy team. So when they're up, they're going to be up and you don't want to play them. When they're down, I could see them skidding like hard. Like,
Like
but
last
yeah,
year.
no, I could easily see them just for no reason, just fucking blowing everyone out of the water and them being a shock. The Rays, yeah, I don't know. They didn't get much better to
They
me, I
they did
guess.
the Rays. They were an atypical Rays offseason. They traded their best player and got to get better. Which
Yeah,
sounds so backwards and stupid to say. The Rays traded their best player to the Dodgers and became the better team.
I know, it's so
Like
weird.
they got Pepiot, who I call Mr. Pepsi Cola because fuck his last name.
Yeah, fuck.
And then I don't really know who else they got. I just know they got Mr. Pepsi Cola, and he's disgusting. But
Well,
there's a legitimate
yeah.
argument that any four team could win the East, not the Red Sox. The Red Sox aren't
No.
winning the East.
Yeah. They're so down and under. Like, it's just like, who fucking cares about the Red Sox? We took one of their best players off them. Like, and
Oh
who
yeah,
the fuck? Oh, you forgot, eh?
I was like, I was trying to think. I was like, who did we take off the Red Sox? Because Justin Turner as a Red Sox just doesn't click in my brain. Like in my
Yeah.
mind, we just took him from LA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck. I wish we had. If we get Justin Turner from fucking LA, bro. Wow. Give me that.
I was like, did
Fuck,
we
for
take? I
real.
was like, who did we take? We didn't take Devers. We didn't take Story. Although Story's not that good. I was like, did we take JD
Sorry.
Martinez?
Oh my god, bro.
Uh,
It's gonna be interesting because anything can happen. But there's like three, four teams that are just like loaded, you know?
yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see who wins awards. We should do an episode where we predict every award.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll be fun. Like 1 week before the season. I
Agreed.
think would be a good thing. And then yeah, obviously we're going to do way more content this season. Hopefully we don't get depressed halfway through. More live games. I don't know how many people we're going to get to watch, but I feel like if we
If we keep it up, more
try
people will
harder,
join.
yeah, I feel like we could be doing way more to get more eyes to our place. Maybe start a TikTok, Snapchat.
That's what I'm thinking. I was telling Brennan that we should start a TikTok,
Yeah,
and just like upload, like have everyone just has it, and then everyone can just upload a clip from a podcast.
and it could just pop for no reason. Say some
Exactly.
funny shit. and it just goes. I think that's a good idea, and it doesn't take that much effort. Like
No, it really doesn't.
we could put way more effort into this podcast to make it better,
Agreed. Agreed.
but it doesn't have to be
Nope.
great. People just have to listen.
Exactly. Also, anyone
That's
who
it.
came from the Blue Jays domain channel, shout out.
Yes, yes, we love the domain videos.
Um,
It kills those.
yeah, what else is there? Um, yeah, I guess
Oh, probably.
we want to do those Monday night watch parties as often as possible.
Yes. I feel
Um,
like weekends when we can, because I have weekends off.
I
If there's
work
a weekend game we
weekends.
can catch. Yeah, but if there's a weekend game, which
Yeah.
probably not, because they're usually early.
Um,
Well, trade deadline definitely
Trade
going to do
deadlines
it if we can.
definitely.
Yeah.
Depending on when the All Star break is, we could hit an All Star game watch party or a home run derby watch party. One of those
Honestly,
two.
I think the plan is just to push out way more content, 3 times as much as last year,
Yeah,
and stay consistent like we were last year. Because even though it was a shit show, we stayed consistent
yeah,
and we were doing our thing every week. So as long as we do that, put some more effort into the content, I'll enjoy my life.
I agree.
Until we're in fucking fifth place, and then I quit.
The start of the Jays schedule sucks, man. It's like
Is it AL East?
It's
Yeah.
Rays, Astros, Yankees,
Oh,
Mariners.
that's ugly,
Here, I'll
man.
read out. The first month sucks, but if you can get past the first month over 500, they're gonna make the playoffs. That's my. There's the will
Oh
guarantee.
wow!
That's the will
Holy,
guarantee. Like the last time they played the Yankees is August 4th.
holy fuck!
I don't know if that
Really?
was a yawn or. Oh,
It was like both.
MLB.com has the games on the top now. That's how
As
you
you
know it's
blurred, it's
baseball
blurred.
season. I know.
Let's go.
That's how you know it's baseball season. Four in the Trop start off. Three in Houston. Three in New York. And then three at home against Seattle. Three against Colorado and Toronto, which is nice. New
So
York
wait,
comes to
first three
town.
seasons, first 3 seasons or
First
seasons,
three series
first
are on the
threes.
road
Okay.
in the Trop, and then in Houston, and then in
Ooh,
Bronx.
ooh.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind the Bronx, but the Trop fucking
The
sucks.
Trop on opening day, though, underrated. Blue Jays place to win.
Yeah.
2016, they won opening day there. 2020, they won opening day there. I think 2021, they won opening day there, too.
I'll be happy if we go 500 or
Yeah,
just
so the
above.
first 10 games, I was
Five
saying
and
if you
four.
can get back home at 6-4, pretty good.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, we take
And
that.
then it's Seattle, Colorado, New York, all in Toronto. And then it's go to San Diego for three, go to Kansas City for four, come back home, and you face the Dodgers for three, and then you face Kansas City for three, and then it gets pretty easy where it's like not as many good teams in the month of
Kansas
May.
City's gonna be pretty good this year, I think.
I think they could make a run at the AL Central if all goes well for them. Because the
Yeah,
AL Central is such a up for grabs place, and Minnesota doesn't scream good. And that's not because I'm
I
salty at Minnesota. I just genuinely don't think they have a good team.
I think they will. They have a good chance of having an MVP on their team. I'm not gonna lie to you. Huh?
Hmm?
I said I think the Royals have a very good chance of having an MVP on their team.
Yeah, Michael Walker.
Yeah, of course. Michael Walker winning the unanimous MVP.
I think the Twins should be considered the favorites for the AL Central, but
Yeah.
I don't think you should be shocked if the Royals make a run at it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of like
And
how the
they're
Twins made a run at it in 2019 when no one expected it.
if not, they have a good first half and then they die out towards the end. That's
Yeah,
my prediction.
that's actually the
But
worst
Bobby,
possible case for them.
yeah, but I could see it definitely happening.
Sam.
But Bobby Witt's gonna be an animal.
Oh, dude's got
He's
that
just
money.
gonna do.
He's got that money. Trevor Plouffe compared him to Royce Lewis, so he's gonna absolutely shit on everyone this year.
Yeah,
Or I
I
heard.
hope he wins the MVP. Fuck all the
I
other
don't.
NL.
I hope Vladdy wins the
Yeah.
MVP.
Oh, I guess. Well, yeah. Okay. 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 Vladdy. But if there was
Bobby Witt can win
another
second.
person,
He can get
Yeah,
second place.
I like Bobby Witt, man.
I do too. I wish he was
He's
a
a
Blue
good
Jay.
guy.
He'd be a great third baseman.
Oh, make that happen! Holy fuck!
Oh yeah. Oh man, when that Luis Robert trade happens to Toronto at the trade deadline, you won't see me for. I will just run around the house screaming.
That's who
Oh
your
my
prediction
god!
is preseason.
Preseason prediction. I That's not who I predict, but I predict they make a splash of some sort. It'll probably end up
Yeah,
having to be a pitcher due to an injury, is my guess.
yeah. I don't know. I don't even want to
Because
say.
I don't
Our
even
luck
know.
has been so terrible.
I don't even
So
know what bats would be available looking into the season.
it's so crazy, eh? To look at it now and be like, it's hard to predict what's gonna happen. That's why I love
That there's
game.
so many like the NL Central. There's a path for 3 or 4 teams there to win and play good baseball. Maybe not the Pirates this year, but like maybe next year for them.
Let's see how Cruz does.
hmm
De La
The
Cruz, I'm excited to see if he takes a step up.
the Mets, the Mets are a really interesting one. If they're playing good, there goes this. There goes the biggest trade deadline piece, which is Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
The
seriously.
Marlins could very well fizzle out, and Luis Ariz is made available.
I like uh, Jazz.
Jazz
He's
Chisholm, he'd be
yeah,
nice.
he's a
Who
sweet
else would
dude,
be?
bro. I would love to see fucking Chisholm in a Blue Jays jersey.
It'd be
Oh,
amazing.
he's so sick.
The biggest team to watch for a seller, I think, this year would be the Astros if they're not playing good, because that's a
Yeah,
team that has a couple guys that they probably won't be able to lock up. Alex Bregman for sure probably isn't going back after the Altuve extension. He's a third baseman.
yeah. And their team is like getting old, so how long are they gonna keep this for?
They
It's
got a
like,
couple nice young guys on the way up. They're
oh, for sure, but
But yeah,
I don't know. They've been so good for so long. I think it's about time
it's
they
due.
go like
They're due.
switch it up.
If imagine Arizona's a seller this year, they got pieces there.
Yeah,
I
they
doubt they
do.
will be, but they could be.
They could get better, which I think people forget about Arizona
Yeah,
sometimes. They're like a sleeper, but after fuck the Dodgers, I hope they make the playoffs just to get swept,
the
and
Dodgers.
somehow, yeah,
The Dodgers are
because
gonna get swept by the 83 win Cincinnati Reds in the NLDS. That's like
yes,
that's my patent prediction. 83
yeah,
wins for the Cincinnati Reds. Sneak in as the
yeah,
sixth seed, and they'll just ruin every Dodger fan's life.
again, or well, no,
The
obviously they didn't
Diamondbacks
do
is
it,
last year. Yeah,
but like again, it
yeah.
happens.
It's a
Yeah,
similar. It's a yearly tradition at this point for
I
sure.
yeah, I really don't like when I mean if we did it, fuck, I'd be all for it. But I hate when teams stack up
Oh,
and
same.
like keep signing everybody. It's like this person to the Dodgers, this person to the Dodgers, this person to the Dodgers. It's like, oh my
I
god.
will say, I'll give them credit. They took advantage of a market that was not being tapped by other teams.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
other
for sure.
team was doing a thing. A lot of teams were affected by the Bali sports thing, and a lot of other teams just said, "You're not really worth it. We're looking at next year now,"
Yeah.
which makes sense. Did
It's
you
gonna be
see?
interesting.
You see Ross Atkins' quote today? This is like one of the very last things I want to talk about.
What do you say?
So they asked him about roster additions and if he's still looking at adding
Oh
anything.
yeah, I did breeze over that
Um,
actually.
so Ross Atkins, when he answers a question like he's got like a minimum word limit, like he's has to hit like 300 words or he like gets beat by Ed Rogers.
It's an
So he
essay.
hit us today with the most confusing quote of all time. To add anything, we'd have to subtract. We'd have to have some major subtractions. And operationally, we're looking at if we add anything, it's adding subtracting. And I was like, so not only are we adding and subtracting, we're adding subtractions to add more additions and get less subtractions. And I was like, I was never good at math. That made no
He's just
sense.
yeah, no, I seen your tweet about that and I was just like he's trying to like scatterbrain us. So we're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're doing good, man. This is good. This is good. No, just like throwing everybody under the bus is not good, Ross. Give us a straightforward answer and fucking take the blame for just flopping this whole thing if it goes wrong. Everyone's looking at you.
Dude, and then the fact that people read that quote and understood it is insane. People read that quote and went, you know, I think he's making a trade. And I was like, you got that from his obviously failure at math?
Yeah, all I got is like he's
All I
still
got is
pretty
that
stupid.
he did a line of coke beforehand and was like, I gotta go.
I gotta say something. Like, yeah,
Uh,
okay. Better to
um,
stay quiet sometimes, fucking
oh, easily.
dumbass.
Manoa speaks to the media tomorrow, and that's the only one that I'm really excited about. Him and Vladdy. I want to hear about
Hmm.
Vladdy's arbitration process, um,
Yes.
because
Oh
that's a huge
yeah.
thing. I am glad he
It is
won the case because long term that helps. The relationship is probably a little bit better
yeah.
than if the team won. Um, but that's an interesting one. But just hearing what Manoa did in the offseason is like needed
And his attitude. I just want to see his
on his
attitude.
attitude. Attitude's got to be um, his attitude's got to be like I'm a rookie again. I
Yeah,
need to
this
earn
is a
my fifth
start
spot.
fresh.
Here we go. He's got the
Yeah.
opportunity to change his legacy in Toronto.
He's got one more season. Yeah, he's got one more season to prove it. If
If
not,
he
midway.
flops this season,
Yeah. Yeah. His whole
speaking of
career
legacy,
might be over.
Rob
Uh-huh.
Manfred. We have to touch on this a little bit. Rob
Okay.
Manfred's legacy in
Yeah.
baseball. It
Yeah.
ends in 5 years. There's a lot of stuff that can be said. And if you were to tell me last year during the CBA negotiations that Rob Manfred wasn't going to be coming back, I would have cheered. I
Yeah.
would have cheered. He has been on fire lately. He has been A1. He has done a lot of good things in the last year. The pitch clock is a
Active.
win.
Active. Yeah, he's
Active
been
things.
very
The
active.
pitch clock is a huge win. The expanded playoffs, that's a big win. The balanced
Yeah.
schedule, big win. The bigger bases, I think that's this year.
It's
That
like
seems
it's
like
like
it's a big. That seems like it'll be good.
yeah.
Uh, the
It's it's a different game with these new rules.
yeah,
And last season, literally the games were faster and they did what they set out to do. I think
and you didn't notice it.
everything. No, it was just like it didn't affect the game. I think the biggest thing that you've seen was like base stealing was up
Mm-hmm.
way more, which is like fine. It's whatever, but yeah, I thought
Yeah,
the rules like for how big people was making it, like it's gonna change things. It's like it did what it was supposed to do and it executed. I didn't have a problem with
it
anything.
was good. And now Manfred's got like 3 or 4 things left that like really solidifies his tenure, his legacy, what he's done for baseball.
Hmm.
He proposed today a free agency signing period slash deadline for December. I think they can get away with mid January. But if he adds that, that's a big win. That is a
That's a
big,
banger.
big win.
As mentioned in the Blue Jays domain video you made the other
It
day.
is. He mentioned, or not mentioned, but if A's can survive, that's a big win. If the A's don't go to Las Vegas and they stay in Oakland and get rid of their owner, that's a big win. If he can
Yeah.
do that, find a way to get that to happen, that's a big win. And expansion. If he can set the groundwork for expansion before he goes, that it's a big win. The
Are we?
only thing that he will have that will tarnish his legacy is how he responded to the Houston Astros cheating scandal.
Mm, yeah. Seriously. I
He
don't know.
he's been a really good commissioner in the last like 16 months.
Yeah, he's picked it up, but he's
So
had to. I
yeah,
think he knows that he had to. I mean, but he's changed the game of baseball. Like
yeah,
in
and
like
for the better.
small but big things. Yeah, for seriously, I think a lot
He
of people don't watch baseball because it's too slow. He's speeding it up.
he made the game more competitive, so more people are interested in watching. He made
Smooth.
the games faster. They're more
Yeah.
action packed with guys stealing bases.
Yeah.
He's the Last year was a really good year, and he's found a way to really market the teams. Like the teams and players are being marketed, and he's working on a streaming service with MLB to start in 2025 for about half the league to eventually become the full league and basically get rid of MLB.com and there's no blackouts,
Yeah. That's thank God.
which
That'd be huge.
we
That
need.
would be huge.
That's a
Yeah,
huge
we need
win.
that. That's a W. There was something I was gonna say, but I can't remember now. It'll probably come back to me.
At like at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I remember what I was about to say. Like, no, I think he's doing a lot for the game, obviously. So he's still got what was it, 5 years
More
left?
years. What a
So
weird time to announce that. Like spring training 2024. Yeah, guys, in five
oh
years, I'm
yeah.
out.
At least we know he's paying attention because I will admit this offseason dragged like no other, especially when you have high expectations. When your team gives you high expectations and it drags out for months, man, like you do need to find another time where you could slot in like a deadline or more action because like comparatively speaking to the rest of like sports in general, like we're double the size, like the season is double the size in games as the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and it's double as the NHL, and it's like double everything. So it's
Except
like,
for NFL, where it's like 100 times.
yeah, exactly. So you could justify adding more like deadlines
Yeah.
because like when there's too much gap in between and like who's gonna be intrigued in like waiting that off-season gap if you're not a big fan of the MLB because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh shit, I forgot that this is the deadline. I forgot after 3 4 months of dead, no talks, nothing,
Yeah.
like, and then the
It could
talk.
also, and it could also
Sorry.
lead to pitchers and catchers reporting a little bit earlier if
Yeah,
needed. Like there's a few
just
things.
shifting everything.
Yeah.
The meetings were boring this year.
Winter
Like
meetings are
there's
boring.
nothing for them.
This
Like a
was
skip.
this was worse than the lockout year. I must say this was slower than the lockout year, which is
It was
insane to say
brutal.
because we literally had nothing, like no baseball news, rumors, anything for like 2.5 months.
Well, why do you think I didn't want to do the podcast? It's
Yeah.
impossible to do the podcast because like we'd hop on one week, just like talk about two things, and
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, what now? We wait until something happens in 2 months.
hmm This was this was similar to the 2018-19 Bryce Harper Manny Machado saga.
Yeah,
So you will find out.
yeah. I'm excited for the season though. I'm excited to start this, and I think that's all that I have to say about what's coming up, and we'll
Yeah.
have more to say next week, hopefully.
I'm just glad to be back. We're gonna have a lot more Blue Jays stuff next week. We'll have stuff to unpack. This is just a good
Reactions.
reactions.
We
This is
could
just a
do
good thing.
reactions on this, I'm sure, hey?
Probably.
Like I share my screen and like
Yeah,
we react to a video or something.
it's gonna be good. Also, hopefully by next week, I will have a better microphone because I think I'm gonna get a
Really?
cable for this Zoom here that I got just lying around. Gotta get a tripod. We're gonna set it up. It's gonna be beautiful. That's the
And
hope.
maybe backdrops, maybe.
Hopefully, if Will's brain
Yeah.
works.
I will try to figure it out. Anyway,
That's all.
that's all. Yeah.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. If we still throw that up there, I'm not sure. It's been a while. And just thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll catch you all next week. Be sure to subscribe to 1IQ. Not only are we doing baseball content now weekly, we also have football content weekly with the
Mm.
football host Brendan and Sterling on 1IQ Football Talk. So check that out as well if you like that sport. And hopefully, hockey next season, I
Yeah,
think, is the
hopefully.
hope. So we're going to get
We
even
should
more
have got
stuff.
it going.
We should have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be other sort of content coming out from 1IQ in one way, shape, or form. So thanks, guys.
Be
And
patient.
we'll catch you all next week for another podcast. And yeah, let's go, Jays.